Today, I want to speak to the agent who's tired of putting on a face. You're producing, but you're not at peace, and nobody knows. We live in a highlight reel world. In real estate, that pressure is magnified. You're expected to look like you're crushing it, even if you're crumbling inside. But success that requires you to fake it is not success. Obedience to the Lord might cost you clout, but obedience is what pleases God, and it's where real peace lives. We, faithful agents, should choose obedience over optics. Stop sacrificing your soul to protect your image. The reality is, you can't build God's kingdom while maintaining a fake one for yourself. When your image becomes an idol, your integrity gets sacrificed. So what does obedience look like practically in uncomfortable business moments? What does obedience look like living on social media when we're supposed to tell everyone around us that everything's great, the market's great, we're doing wonderful, right? The world thinks that what we do is we wake up, we post on social media, we go out, we show $1 million homes, and we all make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. That's what the world thinks is happening in our industry. And if we play into that, we start playing into optics and not obedience. Instead, practically, it's okay. I'm not advocating that we go around and tell everyone our problems, right? We need a small select group of people that we could share that with. But the reality is, for us, as believers especially, we can't build God's kingdom if we're trying to build a fake one for ourselves. Obedience looks like us being able to be honest on social media, being able to be honest with even some of our clients and say, hey, honestly, it's been tough. Or to be able to say, man, things are hard at home, right? But not let it get you down and you continue to serve them well. Nobody wants to be around someone who's negative all the time, but to be able to be honest and recognize that we should pursue what does obedience look like above what does everyone think of me. 1 Samuel 16 verse 7 says, man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. I once kept a toxic client because I didn't want to look weak. But that deal nearly broke me. I was running around showing them houses all day, every day, trying to pretend like everything was great. Every time they wanted to buy a house, they wanted to lowball like crazy. When I said, hey, that's probably not going to happen, they would constantly say, I thought you were a good negotiator. And they kept pushing and pushing, and they never let me alone. And when I tried to protect my time, they got frustrated and angry. But what did I do? I kept them anyways because I didn't want to look like someone who couldn't hold on to a client. At that point in my career, I had literally never lost a client or fired a client, which I have done since then, right? But I never let somebody go. I'd never fired anybody before. And so I wanted to maintain that reality of saying, I've got 100%. Nobody ever leaves me. Instead of asking the Lord, what does obedience look like in this scenario? How do I be honest with them, not let them run me around? How do I be honest with them to say, hey, this is not working out? How do I do that in obedience? Because it was pulling me away from my family. It was making me show up worse to my kids. What does obedience look like for me to say, you know what? I'd rather walk away from money than walk away from obedience. Obedience in honoring the Lord, obedience in trusting that he's going to provide when I walk away from a situation that I shouldn't be in. Obedience that it's not about how I look from the outward appearance, but the Lord is looking at my heart. What does obedience over optics look like? If this resonates with you, I hope that you subscribe to the podcast, leave a 5-star review, share this with a friend. Ultimately, my hope and heart is to get this message out to more Christians in the real estate space. I want to close with this question for you to ponder today. Where in your business are you most tempted to protect your image instead of honor your Father in heaven? I love you, faithful agents. I will see you next week.